Yo, what's good with y'all? It's your boy Nick, and today we are reacting to I can't believe LaMelo Ball just got traded. I'm not gonna lie, this trade came out of nowhere for real. I wasn't expecting LaMelo to get traded during this all season, but that's what happens. The unexpected happens during the NBA all season. So let's see what this dude has to say about the trade. I'm gonna give y'all my thoughts as well. Let's get right into it.
So a couple days ago, we just had Giannis Antetokounmpo getting traded to the Miami Heat, and I don't think that's the craziest move of the offseason so far because we kind of expected Giannis to get moved. I did not expect LaMelo Ball to get
Yeah,
traded. Now, there was a report from Kelly Iko of Yahoo Sports earlier in the year that the Hornets could trade away LaMelo Ball. That gets brushed to the side, and the Hornets went on to have their best year in half a decade, and
sure.
they have one of the more exciting
They
futures.
made it to the in-season tournament. I mean, playing tournament, and they were doing good this season. I'm not gonna lie. With majority of the guys healthy, you got Brandon Miller healthy, you got LaMelo healthy this season. They were doing good. I'm not gonna lie. This trade came out of nowhere though. Like I wasn't expecting LaMelo to get traded. Especially to the Timberwolves. I knew the Timberwolves needed a point guard, but I was thinking the Timberwolves was going to go out and get Kyrie or someone like that. But this came out of nowhere for real, for real.
Futures in the league with Con Knipple in his rookie season, LaMelo Ball, Brandon
Yeah.
Miller, and the Hornets just traded away LaMelo Ball to the Minnesota Timberwolves.
So let's break this down right here. The Charlotte Hornets are trading star guard LaMelo Ball and Josh Green to Minnesota for Nas Reed, a 2033 unprotected first round pick, three first round pick swaps in 28, 29, and 30, and three second round picks. I'm not gonna lie, for what Minnesota gave up, this isn't really a crazy trade. I feel like Minnesota won this trade. They gained a point guard and a nurse scorer to play alongside Ant, and they didn't really have to give up that much. They gave up Nas Reed, which they need another big. They're probably going to go out and sign someone. But the first round picks, they didn't give up their next year's first round pick. So even if they are bad, they have their next year pick in 2027. As far as Charlotte, if I was Charlotte, I would push to try to get the 2027 pick from Minnesota. But for Charlotte, I don't know what their angle is right here, but we'll see what Charlotte got planned.
Exchange for Nas Reed, a 2033 unprotected first round pick, three pick swaps, and three second round picks. LaMelo Ball, Josh Green are going to Minnesota. We got to talk about this one. So yeah, I try my
Sure.
best when these trades go down, but I was literally sleeping a little bit later today because I was at the Numbers on the Board live show in Brooklyn last night. I was supporting the Enjoy crew, and I got back like 3 a.m. to Philadelphia, and I got like 3 hours of sleep the night before. Same thing the night before. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna sleep in right now and just hope that there's not a trade. But I'm just so stupid for not setting alarms just in case this happened because I went to bed knowing that LaMelo could get traded, and it actually happened. Toronto was rumored last night. Shams reported this. Jake Fisher reported it as well with Mark Stein that the Raptors would be interested. The Bucks were interested.
Yeah.
You never know if there was going to be a surprise suitor interested as well. And the Hornets really just traded away LaMelo Ball after his best season in years. LaMelo Ball has had injury concerns his whole career after being the third overall pick in the 2020 NBA draft. LaMelo played 51 games as a rookie out of 72 games that year. He won Rookie of the Year, and then he played 75 games as a sophomore, helping that team go above 500 and leading them to the play-in tournament. And then he played 36 games in 2023, 22 games in 2024, 47 games in 2025, but then he played 72 games in 2026. LaMelo averaged 20 points, 7
That's
assists.
crazy. 72 games. That's crazy. Only missed 10 games this season. That's pretty good. Um, yeah, I don't know why Charlotte didn't push to get the 2027 pick. Let me know in the comments if Minnesota actually does have their 2027 pick. And then also, is LaMelo's contract about to be up or something? Because this came out of nowhere, in my opinion. I didn't expect this to happen. I didn't expect LaMelo to get shipped anywhere. I thought, hey, they're building this team around LaMelo. They just drafted Con Knipple, and they got some solid pieces surrounding him. I didn't think this was going to happen, but I guess they're moving towards a way of having Kobe White be their new franchise point guard. Um, but yeah,
He shot 40% from the field, 37% from three, and 90% from the free throw line. Now, you could look at it like LaMelo is still going to be dealing with these ankle issues. His free throws per game have actually dropped over the last year or so. And you just maybe think that you were selling high if you're Charlotte. Now, Jeff Peterson, the main decision maker in Charlotte, who I think has done a tremendous job since taking over from Mitch Kupchak a couple years ago, could be just selling high on LaMelo. Like, you never want to sell high in the moment, but you look back on it and say, hey, this was the moment to sell high on, and this could be it. This is a massive risk for the Minnesota Timberwolves. On paper, it's a lot of fun. Like, we're going to talk about Anthony Edwards and LaMelo Ball and the synergy there.
Minnesota's sort of like scrambling for real. Like, they're trying to find something to keep Ant on the team because there's been rumors about Ant not being happy since they traded Karl Anthony Towns. This is all just trying to make Ant happy and trying to find a way to win. You feel what I'm saying?
Milwaukee Bucks, the Phoenix Suns of recent memory, the Clippers, they don't own any draft picks really directly going forward. They had a first round pick this year. They traded out of the first round. They got Isaiah Evans. 2027, they don't own a first round pick. 2028, but then in 2029,
so
it's
they don't. Okay, cool. So they don't own their pick in 2027. That's a risky trade then, knowing that this is for sure risky trade. In my opinion, this could be Anthony Edwards' last season with the Timberwolves. If they don't find something, if they don't do something this year, I think this might be it for Ant.
Go to Utah still from the Rudy Gobert trade. 2030, it's going to Minnesota in a trade as well as San Antonio. 2031, it could end up in Sacramento. That was basically rerouted from San Antonio in the Rob Dillingham trade to Sacramento in the De'Aaron Fox trade. And then they just traded away a 2033 first round pick as well. And they basically threw in every single swap on top of this, where Shams reported that the swaps are in 2028. So that is actually next year. They don't own it directly. 2029 and 2030. So they don't own a first round pick directly until 2034. That is insane to say. That is insane to say. Yeah, you never know. You never know in the Western Conference with the Oklahoma City Thunder, with the San Antonio Spurs, with the Denver Nuggets, the Lakers, the Jazz are on the rise. You have so many competitive teams in the Western Conference going forward. And obviously you have Anthony Edwards, but what if there's an injury, right? Like, Anthony Edwards isn't going to play 82 games throughout the rest of his career. He could, you never know, he could be Mikal Bridges. I don't know, but like, deep down, I feel like this is such a risky trade for Minnesota. They traded away Randall. Don't mind that. Is there going to be synergy between LaMelo Ball and Anthony Edwards? I think it's going to be very comical backcourt in terms of just off the court interviews and press conferences, and it's going to be great that way.
Oh boy, I already know Adam Silver is sweating once he saw this trade. That dude was probably like, man, I'm going to have to find these dudes $100K each night. Man, what? The amount of cuss words, the amount of talking about the refs, all that, man. This is going to be the most fined team in the NBA. Like, come back to this video. I'm telling you, it's going to be the most fined team in the NBA.
But LaMelo Ball wanted to be in Charlotte. Will he buy into Minnesota no longer being kind of like the top dog, right? Like, this is Anthony Edwards' team. This is Jaden McDaniels' team. Will he be able to be the guy going forward that could be the engine of this offense that I think the Hornets were way better when LaMelo was on the floor last year than people give him credit for? So I do wonder if Minnesota is going to reap those benefits and Charlotte is now. I don't know who's going to be their point guard next year. They drafted Christian Anderson 18. I don't think that really signaled in my mind that they were going to trade away LaMelo Ball. I thought, okay, LaMelo Ball has injury concerns. Trey Mann didn't really work out on his contract extension. Kobe White's a free agent. Yeah, draft Christian Anderson. They love to take.
Well, they just signed. By the way, they just signed Kobe White, I think, to a $41 million deal. I'm pretty sure.
And he's arguably the best three-point shooter in the draft. I did not know that was going to end up resulting in a LaMelo Ball trade. So, like, the Wolves right now have a projected lineup of LaMelo Ball, Anthony Edwards, Ayo Dosunmu, Rudy Gobert, and Jaden McDaniels, obviously with Gobert at the 5. So they gave Ayo Dosunmu that huge extension after trading away Randall. I thought that they were going to maybe reroute Randall, or expand the Randall trade into the LaMelo trade. But no, they also gave up Naz Reid. Like, they gave up the franchise favorite in Naz Reid as well, which I think is a huge part of this trade, because Minnesota's bench also is looking kind of thin. Now, you get Josh Green in this trade. I'm sure they'll sign a veteran minimum. Dante DiVincenzo is making $12 million next year. He's not going to play a single second for you. They're going to need Terrence Shannon Jr. to do what he did in the playoffs again in the regular season. You have Yohan Berenjay, who they're going to need to step up. Jaden McDaniels is now going to be that full-time 4. And then who's going to be the 4 if something happens with him? There's going to have to be a free agent or two this offseason in terms of a veteran minimum. Rudy Gobert is 34 years old. I know Tim Connolly likes to go after these big names. Like, he's tried to go after Giannis. He's tried to go after Kevin Durant. He's tried to go after John Moran. He's tried to go after big names in recent memory. And obviously, they traded away Karl Anthony Towns to avoid the second apron. LaMelo does not have a bad contract by any means. He's making $40 million, then $43, then $46. Like, it could be a lot worse. It's not like he recently got a Trae Young extension. It does get pretty close to that. Yeah. But yeah, he's going to be making a lot of money going forward, where this team will still have some financial wiggle room to kind of get around. And then DiVincenzo does have kind of like the last year of his contract. So we'll see what ends up happening with this team for Minnesota. I would love to know your guys' thoughts and opinions. Like, my initial reaction is like, I'm a little skeptical on it, because I think Jeff Peterson is doing a great job in Charlotte. I think LaMelo wanted to be there, so it's not like he requested out, because everybody reporting it saying LaMelo didn't really want to get traded. So I do wonder what's going to end up happening.
Now, well, I would say the best fit for LaMelo would have probably been going to the Clippers, if I'm being honest. Because, one, he's been trying to get to the Clippers, I think, from the moment that he's got in the league. He wants to go back home to LA. But from Minnesota, I feel like this may be a fresh start. They gotta work quick though. Like, they're on the timer when it comes to Ant. Ant is, like we saw at the All-Star break, he was talking to Jalen Johnson trying to go to Atlanta. You know what I mean? He wants to come home. So Minnesota gotta do something. They gotta sign someone. They gotta hope that this works with LaMelo and Ant together. They gotta see how this duo works for
with Charlotte, because what is their plan B? What is their plan B here moving forward? Is it going to be Christian Anderson as their starting point guard? Is it going to be running Con Knipple at the point? Is it going to be Kobe White at their point guard spot? Well, we're going to have to wait and see this one, because why trade away your best player, one of your best players in franchise history, right? Like, you have Larry Johnson, Alonzo Mourning, Kemba Walker Kemba Walker more so in recent memory. But like, in the last decade, your best player is LaMelo Ball. You sell so many.
I feel like when it comes down to Charlotte, in my opinion, I think they're trying to build this core around Brandon Miller and Con Knipple now. They're trying to go for a younger team. They're trying to build sort of just a team with length and a team that could play better defense, because we all know LaMelo isn't the best defender. He's not really that good at defense. So Charlotte is probably looking at teams like Atlanta. Like, Atlanta has a team full of wings and team full of 3-and-D guys. So they're looking at teams like Atlanta, teams like OKC, and teams like that, where they get two-way guys that could play both sides and not just one side. So I feel like trading away LaMelo makes them be able to walk into that and be able to build towards that with Brandon Miller and Con Knipple on the team. They could build towards that 3-and-D type of play style. And yeah.
Tickets and so many jerseys. Like, young fans love them around the world. Shams' tweet, when he got traded, like, I woke up, he had over 100,000 likes on this. I think quicker it felt like than Giannis Antetokounmpo in that trade. And LaMelo now is in Minnesota. What is Charlotte's plan B going to be? Because this is an open Eastern Conference, but now there's a chance Charlotte is not going to be good next year, right? Because you have Washington that should be better. Miami, who they beat in the play-in tournament, should be better with Giannis. Milwaukee will be worse. Brooklyn could be better. Indiana should be better as well. And then every team that made the playoffs is going to try to be the same next year. Detroit, Boston, New York, Cleveland, Toronto, Atlanta, Philly, Orlando, all those teams are going to try to be competitive. And Charlotte, who did draft Hannes Steinbach and Christian Anderson, I don't know, man. Like, you didn't get like great depth in this trade as well. You basically just netted Naz Reid. So I guess Naz Reid is going to be the 4. I don't know. Like, what is going to happen next? Are they going to trade Miles Bridges for a point guard? There's a potential chance that could happen as well. There's going to be so many moves that I think could come out of Charlotte with this. I'm just shocked they actually traded away LaMelo Ball. It still does not make sense to me when I'm saying it out loud to you guys right now. And Minnesota, honestly, will become such a fun lineup, though, with Dosunmu and McDaniels and of LaMelo Ball because they're going to be able to just shoot the lights out of the gym. And now Ant, who has so much of a workload in the playoffs and so much of a burden, will have guys around him a little bit better than recent memory, right? Like he had Cat, that was the guy that could take some of the burden off Ant's back offensively. Randall would try to do that. Maybe not at the best level. So now you have LaMelo Ball, who's had years of experience being that number one every single possession in the regular season for Charlotte, which can now translate to the playoffs for Minnesota. And then obviously you have who kind of balled out for you going forward. It is a shame that Dante DiVincenzo is going to be out because that would be a really fun part of this team. Like, end of the era for Naz Reid, though. I never thought that they were going to trade away Naz Reid, to be honest with you. I know Jaden McDaniels was always off limits in any trade, but Naz Reid was the fan favorite. He was the fan favorite, and now he's going to Charlotte in this crazy deal. So yeah, I was a little skeptical about it on Twitter. I think some of you guys were like, Matt, like, it's just swaps. I think it's a big deal. Like, they do not own their first round pick directly till 2031. And it's not like I'm not worried about the Suns or the Bucks part of it. I mean, the Bucks did have Giannis. The Wolves do have Anthony Edwards. Maybe that's just like an unpopular take for me right now, that I do think that there are some risks to this deal for Minnesota. Because it's a tough West, but I do appreciate Tim Connolly going all in for Anthony Edwards. I assume Anthony Edwards will sign an extension when he's extension eligible next offseason. I mean,
We don't know. I'm not gonna lie, we don't know how Ant was talking during the All-Star break. And what everything is seeming like, it's looking like he's trying to come back home to the A. You feel what I'm saying? I'm gladly welcoming him to the Atlanta Hawks. Yeah, he could go on and come over. You know what I mean? Minnesota could have a bad season this season, and Ant could come over. You feel what I'm saying? Come home.
Now, I actually think he could be extension eligible somewhat this offseason as well. Actually, yeah, he could be extension eligible on July 8th. So maybe this will now signal a extension for Anthony Edwards in Minnesota, and that's why you end up doing this trade. So let me know your guys' thoughts and opinions on this trade down below. I will maybe have a double upload today. I was going to do my...
Hey, shout out to this dude right here with the W breakdown. I'm not going to lie, these dudes got 3 uploads out of me this week. It's a crazy offseason. The offseason has begun. Like what they were saying, once Giannis got traded, the dominoes just falling in line. You got LaMelo. Then they talking about Kawhi might get traded. There's a lot of stuff going on throughout the remainder of this month and possibly early July during Summer League. In my opinion, I feel like both sides take a win. You know what I mean? With Charlotte, like I said, they're building towards just being a more of 3-and-D type of team, building around Brandon Miller and Con Knipple. And then Minnesota is trying to basically get Ant back on their side, trying to find a way to be like, hey, Ant, we still are trying to build this team around you. We still want you on this team, and we still are trying to contend and trying to just get out of the West. You feel what I'm saying? Let me know what y'all think down in the comments. 3 for 3, 3 days in a row. 3 videos for 3 days in a row. Let me know what y'all think down in the comments about this trade. Who y'all think won this trade? 100% y'all don't make it to the end of the video, but if y'all did, make sure y'all like, make sure y'all subscribe, make sure y'all turn on your notifications, and make sure y'all share with your friends and family and whoever, your cousins, your aunties, your uncles, anybody. You feel what I'm saying? But your boy out, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace.